Welcome back to the Gentleman Ultras YouTube channel. I'm Richard Hall, looking through the papers this morning. Excuse me. La Gazzetta Sportiva this morning, talking of Inter. Obviously, yesterday they continued. What it says here is the Champions Party. It continued with 5 goals against Samp, and at the end of that game, Antonio Conte had said to the players that he wanted them to be obsessed with victory. That's the mentality he wanted to get into the squad. And yesterday was party time, really, for Inter. It was the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Roberto Gagliardini stealing the show. But it really was great to see people like Pinamonti and Radu get some minutes. Very good time for Inter in one respect, because here it does say as well, we need to address this, that now it's austerity plan, because tomorrow Zhang will ask the players to give up 2 months of their salary. It's reported that they aren't going to do this. It's reported, obviously, because of the situation with the ownership. Will they find the necessary funds in time? Can the players help? Will they be able to do this? And Beppe Marotta and Conte also apparently not on board with this, but let's just see how that goes. So going through, also talking of Inter again, we look here and it says, it talks in Corriere dello Sport, Inter 3,000 outside the stadium, 5,000 in. Scudetto celebration outside, and he says Conte obviously wins. Sanchez with the 2 goals again here. And also really worth a note of what a great fellow Claudio Ranieri is, here arranging a guard of honour before the game. All his own idea. He said at the end of the day, this is sport, and that's what it's all about. When we've seen the things with the Super League and the Coppa Italia, just someone doing that, something as simple as that, actually goes a long way. A Tutto Sport with Inter here says to celebrate with 5 goals, but still many doubts, and that's key. It's still a lot of shadows over the future, and there is. So, I think everyone, especially Gazzetta, certainly want to talk about Juve and Milan. It says a thriller between the Champions League and the Super League nightmare. Basically, it says it's a player for the Champions League here. Big game tonight. It says enough threats from Agnelli talking to UEFA, and they just want to focus on this game completely. So much up in the air. Obviously about the coach, obviously about Ronaldo, obviously even about Wojciech Szczesny. So many different. What Juve are we going to see? What Inter are we going to see next season? We've talked about, but what Juve are we going to see? Again, Donnarumma playing against Juventus. We know what the Milan Ultra said about that. They didn't want that to happen. It says here as well. This is quite interesting in the Corriere dello Sport. I quite like this because if you watched Napoli again yesterday, see, I'm smiling just by talking about watching Napoli because they're so good when they're good. They had another one of those days. Osimhen was amazing yesterday. They absolutely crushed Spezia and they to go second in the league. And it says here Rino crashes the party, and again they crashed the party because they're putting so much pressure now on Milan and on Juve. Someone's going to miss out. Osimhen's 2 goals and an assist for Lorenzo relaunches Gattuso. But will he be there next season again? For me, Napoli not consistent enough at the time, but then they're second. So what can you say? And they play the best football in the league by miles. And I think Inter have been outstanding this season. Inter are pragmatic. How can you put this? Inter are like, I don't know, just a staple, the good staple, honest performance that you see from them week in, week out. Napoli's just an indulgence. They really are. But when they're good, they're good. When they're bad, unfortunately, they're horrid. It says here as well, we talk very heavily here about the fact that Fiorentina now is safe, which is great news. Vlahovic again, their win against Napoli, talked about quite heavily here. Vlahovic brace saves Fiorentina and restores Lazio. That's from Corriere dello Sport. They were excellent, you got to say. It looks like they are okay next season, but again, what's their plan? Again, there's so many questions for next season on the different teams we've talked about so far. It says here also, quite simply, Lazio KO'd, straight to the point. So we've got another big game, big day of fixtures. Obviously, the papers, as we expected, and we've said before, are always going to talk about Mourinho. It says Roma. Here is Mourinho's list. Future Giallorossi draws up his new team. Now, this is interesting. First objective, Musso in goal. Someone who'd been very heavily looked at, especially by Inter, of course, and Milan. Aki in defence, and Sabitzer for the midfield. Be quite an interesting one there. Now, talking just quickly back on the Champions League race, Atalanta, obviously they placed Parma, who were already down, unfortunately. Shame to lose Parma, of course, from the league. Just a great club. I'm sure they'll be back soon. But yes, they are also looking to put a lot of pressure, and even more pressure, which it will do. If they can KO, as Tuto Sport quite rightly say here, again, Parma, then the pressure will be on. And as it says, the headline in Tuto Sport here, if you can see, it's all about no more chances for either of Juve or Milan. Pirlo's quote, "We mustn't let ourselves get distracted by anything, we can only focus on the objective," while Pioli says, "Whoever wins will see the finish line get closer." Very true. So, big games today, really all eyes on that game tonight, but also there's some good games, especially in the midday fixtures. So, yeah, ciao for now.